Miracles are often whispered through the unexpected moments of our lives. Some arrive quietly in the form of strength or healing, while others break through the natural laws of gravity and logic. This is the true and mysterious story of a man who fell from a great height and lived to tell the tale, claiming he was saved by an angel. Mark Dalton was a 42-year-old construction worker from Denver, Colorado. With over 2 decades of experience, he had climbed steel beams and scaffolding more times than he could count. For Mark, working at extreme heights was just part of the job. Safety harnesses, checks, and protocols had become second nature. On the morning of September 18th, 2016, Mark was assigned to a site where a new high-rise was being built. The weather was clear, the crew experienced, and everything seemed routine. Until it wasn't. Around 11:15 a.m., Mark was working on a narrow platform about 5 stories high when a piece of metal scaffolding suddenly gave way beneath his foot. The snap was sharp, fast, and unforgiving. Mark plummeted through the air. He didn't have time to scream. He later described the sensation as a blur of fear and silence. Workers on the ground gasped in horror as they turned to see Mark falling straight toward the concrete below. But just seconds before impact, when death seemed certain, something happened that defied explanation. Mark landed flat on his back and survived. There was no thud of crushed bones, no pool of blood. Instead, he was lying still, eyes wide, as if in shock, but he was breathing. He wasn't broken. Paramedics rushed to his side, expecting the worst, only to find him fully conscious and able to speak. "I felt like I landed on a cushion of air," Mark whispered. He was taken to the hospital for tests. To everyone's astonishment, scans showed no fractures, no spinal damage, and no internal bleeding. Just mild bruising, nothing more. As he recovered, Mark began to speak of something even more astonishing. "I saw someone," he said. "As I was falling, I saw a figure, glowing, radiant, hovering just below me. I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't a dream. I was fully awake. The figure had wings, huge white wings, and before I hit the ground, I felt myself being cradled." Many dismissed it as a hallucination born of trauma, but Mark insisted. "I should be dead," he said. "I fell from 50 feet. But I wasn't alone. Someone caught me. Someone not of this world." Mark wasn't a particularly religious man. He had grown up Catholic but drifted away from the church in his 20s. He rarely prayed and hadn't thought much about angels since childhood. But after the fall, something awakened inside him. He started reading about angels, watching documentaries, and attending church again. His pastor listened quietly as Mark shared his story, and then said, "Mark, what you're describing aligns with centuries of testimony. Guardian angels exist. Sometimes they intervene in ways that leave no doubt." Word of Mark's story began to spread, first among his coworkers, then through local media. Skeptics called it luck. Others claimed the story was exaggerated. But Mark had medical records, eyewitnesses, and his own unwavering testimony. "I'm not trying to convince anyone," he told a reporter. "But I know what I saw. And I know that I should be dead." The story was picked up by a national news outlet under the headline, "Man survives 50-foot fall, claims he was caught by angel." After the incident, Mark's life transformed. He began volunteering at shelters, speaking to youth about second chances and mentoring others in high-risk professions. He spoke not from a place of fear, but from deep gratitude. "I was given another chance," he often said. "Whatever that figure was, angel or miracle, I'm living proof that the spiritual world is real." His wife, initially skeptical, became convinced after seeing the change in him. "He's more patient, more loving, more faithful," she said. "It's like something was renewed in his soul." Theologians and spiritual experts weighed in on Mark's story. Dr. Helen Rosario, a Catholic scholar specializing in angelology, explained, "Throughout history, people have reported being saved from danger by unseen forces, often described as glowing figures, winged beings, or simply a presence of peace. While science can't measure these encounters, the Church teaches that guardian angels are real and can intervene." Psychologists noted that trauma can create vivid mental imagery, but also acknowledged that Mark's mental evaluations were clear and stable. No drugs, no head injury, no hallucinations, just a story that challenged logic. For Mark, the biggest miracle wasn't just survival, it was returning to faith. He started praying daily, attending Mass regularly, and reading Scripture. Psalm 91 became his personal anthem. "He will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands, so that you will not strike your foot against a stone." Mark began carrying a small angel pendant with him on every worksite, not as superstition, but as a reminder that he is never alone. Years later, Mark continues to share his story at churches, schools, and rescue mission events. He doesn't embellish. He doesn't preach. He simply tells the truth. "I was falling. There was no way out. But something caught me, something not of this world, and I've never been the same." The story of Mark Dalton is more than a tale of survival, it's a testimony of grace. Whether you believe in angels or not, his experience invites us to consider that we are not alone. That in moments of great peril, heaven sometimes reaches down and wraps us in unseen wings. Sometimes it takes a fall to rise again. If this story moved you, don't forget to subscribe for more real-life accounts of miracles, divine encounters, and stories that inspire faith. Comment below. Do you believe in guardian angels? Have you ever felt divinely protected? Stay tuned for our next story, when a lost child in the wilderness found her way back home by following a glowing figure through the forest.